I have 8 different accounts in Rise of Kingdoms, and today I'm going to be walking through the ultimate beginner guide going into 2025 for the best tips and tutorials on how to start Rise of Kingdoms if you are a brand new player or just restarting the game. If you guys are new here, this is Gainz Gaming. I make Rise of Kingdoms content. I'm a sponsored content creator with Rise of Kingdoms, so if you don't follow me already, go ahead and drop a subscribe down below and make sure you like this video. So for the purpose of this video, we are going to be creating a brand new account and walking you through exactly what you should be doing when you start a brand new account. Now, for me personally, I have a main account, an alt account, and then 6 farm accounts. Now, we will talk a little bit more about this later on in the video, but to start, we are just going to go ahead and make a brand new account and show you exactly what you need to do. So we're going to go ahead and create a brand new character, and we can choose whatever kingdom we want to be in. You can see you have good, crowded, and very crowded. So I would highly recommend you do not scroll down. You go to the very top and you choose one of the newest kingdoms, because one of the mistakes I made when I first started playing the game was I didn't know what this meant. I didn't know that this was the age of the kingdom. So the further you go down, the more experienced these players are going to be and the bigger disadvantage you're going to have. So you want to make sure you choose one at the very top. That way you give yourself the best advantage possible. So this is the newest kingdom, Kingdom 3659. So we're going to go ahead and create a new account in this kingdom. And once you get to this page, you're going to go ahead and choose your civilization. As you can see, there are a lot of different choices, and a lot of people don't really know what to pick first because they see all these commanders and they don't know what these commanders do. So for me personally, I would highly recommend starting off with China. The main reason why is because China, you get Sun Tzu, which is one of the best early game commanders in the game. He is an infantry commander that is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Plus, you get troop defense, you get action point recovery, and you also increase your building speed by 5%, which is very beneficial in the early game. And if you're somebody who is making a farm account, then I would recommend going with France. That way you unlock Joan of Arc right away. But we're going to go ahead and act as if this is a brand new account going into Rise of Kingdoms. So we're going to go ahead and hit confirm. And don't worry, you can change your civilization later on. So we're going to confirm this. So once you get through the story mode, you get to this screen where it is going to walk you through a little tutorial here. So she's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and click through this. It's going to have you start by building off a farm. So once this builds, we're going to go ahead and collect the food. And then we have someone coming in here. We're going to have some barbarians attacking somebody nearby. So when you scroll out, you can see the barbarians are attacking this village. So it's going to show you how you're going to go ahead and defeat these barbarians. All right, so now we're going to have to go ahead and train some troops. So we're going to go back into our city. And right here, this is going to be our barracks. This is where we're going to train our infantry. So we're going to train some infantry here. We're going to collect those, but we need to unlock a commander. Like I said before, we do unlock Sun Tzu by choosing the China civilization. So now we're going to go ahead and build our tavern. This is going to allow us to unlock new commanders. So once we get into here, we're going to open up a gold key and unlock our Sun Tzu commander. There we go. And now we can go ahead and attack that barbarian. So it'll show you how to do that. You're going to search for the barbarian here. Later on, you can just click on it, but in the tutorial, it makes you do this. So then you're going to go ahead, choose your commander. You're going to have your troops loaded in here, and you're going to go ahead and march. And now your units are going ahead and defeating this barbarian troop. You also have another commander coming here. We'll be unlocking her in a second. There we go. And now we can see Markswoman. This is an archer commander that we'll be unlocking. She's going to be useful for hitting barbarians. So now we're going to go ahead and assist her. We're going to go ahead and surround this barbarian. This will actually prompt us to unlock this commander, which is pretty nice to allow you to hit barbarians right away in the early game. There we go. We defeated that barbarian. And now we get to unlock Markswoman. Now she's a commander you're really only going to use in the very early game. Later on, you probably will never use her again. For me personally, I don't use her on my main account. So when you are starting the game, and later on in the game as well, this is where you're going to go ahead and follow quests. This, if you're ever lost, this is exactly where you want to go because it's going to tell you exactly what you should be doing. So here you have your main quest and here you have your side quests. The side ones are not as important, but they are things that you're going to be doing eventually. But the main quests are kind of like the main goal. You also get some pretty good rewards for doing these. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our city hall, and then we're going to unlock this prize. And so now we can go ahead and explore the fog. So we do have to have some scouts to do that. So we have to build our scouts. So our scout camp, go ahead and build this, and then we can go ahead and explore the fog. This will give us a little bit more of a map to take a look at. And the one annoying thing with the fog is that there is a lot of fog, and eventually it does go away on its own. So if you don't want to explore the fog on your own, you don't have to, but you do get some rewards for doing so. So we'll head back to the city. And so now you can see right here, you have an archer range that you can build as well. Plus we can build a lumber mill. So when you come in here, there's going to be a couple different buildings you can build. And one thing I would advise you not to do, this is one thing I see so many people do when they start a brand new game, is they start using gems to upgrade things. I see this so often. Like they upgrade something like, oh, I'll just instantly do it instead of waiting 15 seconds. Do not do that, or don't do this and start using your speed ups right away. Hold off, like don't do that. Instead, what you want to do is join an alliance. This is what you should be doing to help get your helps up. This will actually speed up your buildings, will speed up your research, and will just make things so much easier. Plus, once you join your first alliance, you get 300 gems, which is pretty nice. So we're going to go ahead and join. So when you first start, there are going to be some jumper groups. A jumper group is where a lot of people will band together and start an alliance before a kingdom actually forms. And so right here, you're most likely having a jumper group. You can see a lot more power with these people. And so they're going to be a lot more coordinated. These are the ones that are going to be running the kingdom. So in the meantime, if you're not in that group, find one that says anyone can join. So you can see this one has 45 people in it. You can join that alliance. And now you can see right here, this is where your helps are. So you can help your alliance members and you can also get help yourself. So you can see these two people are asking for help upgrading their alliance center and their barracks. So you can see the helps that are allowed. Go ahead and hit help. And now when I'm upgrading something, I'm able to ask for help as well. And plus you have more people over here. So if you want to teleport over with your alliance members, you can do that. So I can teleport right over here, use one of my beginners teleports. You can see one of my alliance members right here hitting some barbarians. One nice thing though, you can see this guy does not have a shield on anymore. This means that he can get attacked, and you can see there's actually people scouting him or potentially even coming to attack him right now. And so you want to make sure you take advantage of this extra shield you're going to keep for the first couple of days. So you have 2 days of a peace shield, but after that, you're eligible to be attacked. Anything that is killed is permanently dead in the home kingdom. So you have to make sure you're on the good side of the alliance, good side of the kingdom, and hopefully in the alliance that is running things. Now, on top of the main quests, there are actually daily quests as well. And I would highly recommend that you finish these every single day because the value is phenomenal. Every single day, you have the ability to get 100 gems, a gold key, and a magic chest. A magic chest can contain gold keys, speed ups, AP, tons of different things. So you want to make sure you are getting all the way to 100 every single day. So once you claim these, you're going to get incremental rewards here as well, which do add up. They give you resources, speed ups, and also some more keys. So you have things like recruiting infantry, archers, cavs, siege, defeating barbarians, collecting resources, healing troops, upgrading technology, opening chests in the tavern, using resource items, tons of different things. One thing you also want to make sure you're doing is periodically checking your tavern to make sure you don't have anything free to unlock. So you can see right here, these are completely free for me to use. I don't have any keys to use anyway, but every 5 minutes, you're going to get a new silver chest. You have the ability to get up to 10 a day if you have this all the way maxed out, but you can see the daily free silver chest. I can get 3 right now, and then a free golden chest every 3 days roughly. So one thing I would highly recommend that you do as well is make sure you don't keep yourself idle. And what I mean by that is make sure you're constantly upgrading things, because if you are not upgrading things, then you're just losing time. And so you can see right there, I get some helps from my alliance members, and that speeds me up almost 5 minutes. Now, a lot of people will be tempted to use a 1 minute speed up here. I caution you, just let it wait. Just wait, do something else in that meantime. You can go ahead and do some scouting, you can go explore, you can hit barbarians, you can gather resources. Just do something else other than use your speed ups, because when you first start, speed ups are very slim. So you want to make sure you are being very selective on how you use them. And instead of using them all right away, you're just periodically using them if you need to. But in most cases, I tell people just hold off. Don't use your speed ups. Don't use your gems. Just wait. Just hold on. Then if you also go here, this is the event calendar. Now, when you first start, there's going to be a brand new event here with a ton of different things that you're supposed to be doing. So here, just logging in, you get rewards. Right here, upgrading your city hall, you get more rewards. And then here, exploring fog, claiming rewards from tribal villages. These are things that you want to be doing every single day as well, trying to get these incremental rewards. Then after the 5 days, you also have the ability to get some extra resources. There's a couple other events here that are going to start. So reaching a certain amount of power, all the way up to 1.5 million power. You can get a city skin for extra cav attack, plus you also get gems. And so you want to try to get as much power as possible without using a ton of speed ups or gems to do so. You also have the hero returns. I would recommend not going for Cleopatra. She is not worth it in my opinion, unless you are a farm account. You would much rather get the speed ups and the resources rather than going for the Cleopatra heads, just because she is not that good. And when you first start, a lot of people are going to try to push for the mightiest governor, but I would caution you, unless you are a big spender, I would not push for this event. First of all, Julius Caesar is a horrible commander and you should not be trying to push for him in the first place, but also you're going to be competing with a lot of big spenders, otherwise called whales, so you don't want to be doing that. You want to just hold off on this. Don't even try to push for this because you are most likely not going to win. So I would recommend not pushing for that mightiest governor. Now, like I said, you don't want to be idle. And if you want to know what you should be working on, just go back to the main quest. This will tell you exactly what you should be trying to do. So training troops, you want to make sure you're collecting resources here as well, upgrading your buildings here. And like I said, being in alliance and getting helps like this, you can see how much faster this goes. When you get a help, it speeds it up all the way. I think it's like a minute every single time is kind of the max you can get. Otherwise, it's 1% of the build speed. And so, obviously if you have something that's a day long, that's going to be, you're getting more time off of it than if it's 15 seconds. So the higher the build time, the more you're actually getting, because it's up to 1% of the total amount. So you want to continuously upgrade your buildings, take advantage of people being online as well. And you can see once you can't upgrade anything else here, it'll tell you what you need to upgrade next. So here, I know I need to go ahead and upgrade my wall. So we're going to go ahead and here, go ahead and upgrade the wall. And like I said, it walks you through everything. Here we can go ahead and go to the Bronze Age. Every once in a while, you're going to be going into a new age. This actually expands your city. So what that means is that basically this just grows. So if you watch here, I'm going to go ahead and go to the Bronze Age. And just for the purpose of the video, again, don't do this. This is just for show and tell basically, but we're going to go ahead and speed this up and you'll see the entire city expand. So right here, are you ready to enter new age? And you can see everything expands a little bit. It's not a ton, but it does expand. Buildings kind of change a little bit and it just changes how it looks. You get some fireworks as well. Whoop-de-doo, right? You also have the ability to get Minamoto at this point. If you're not a spender, not worth it. Don't even try. And like I said, just continuously upgrade things. You have more ability to unlock more things here. You have the Alliance Center. This is going to allow people to reinforce your city. You also have the Quarry. So this is going to allow you to unlock stone. So you can see you have stone right here now. And then here you have the Academy. This is going to be to do some research. So this is going to be really good for technology as well. And plus the Alliance Center is how you actually help your Alliance members without having to go into here and do it manually. So this will allow you to just click on the Alliance Center and upgrade that. This also increases your help times. So when you have a building that's going to take like a day to upgrade, it increases the amount of times you can be helped. So it does save you on time, save you on speed ups. So highly recommend you make sure you're upgrading this as well, not only to help your Alliance members, but also to help yourself. And like I said, the Academy is something you want to make sure you're adamant about as well. This is how you're going to do technology. So if you go into here, it's going to walk us through what technologies are. So research and quarrying will allow your troops to gather stone outside of your city. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade this. You have economic and you have military technology. So economic obviously is going to be increasing your gathering speed, increasing your production. These are going to be important for, just improving the amount of resources you have, improving the amount of speed ups you're going to be spending. It'll save you time on research. It'll save you time on building. So these things do definitely add up. You want to make sure you're very adamant about these. But also in the military technology, these will increase your attack, will increase your defense. Eventually you can go ahead and increase your health as well as march speed. There's tons of different things you want to be working on here as well. So you want to make sure you are being adamant about both the economic and the military tech. But in KVK1, I would say definitely focus more on economic technology when you first get started. Later on, you can focus more on military, but when you first start the game, you have to make sure you're focusing on economic technology. This is when being in a good alliance is important, so that way you don't have to focus on the military. Because if you're focusing heavily on here, you're actually going to be spending more resources and more speed ups because you're not getting the benefit of having the economic technology done. So this is why finding a good alliance is really important for just the longevity of the game and allowing you to have more fun, because you don't have to focus on, oh, am I too broke to do this? Definitely focus on the economic technology. And then here you also can build more hospitals. You can build another farm. One other thing, you can hire extra builders. So you can see an additional queue, you can sign another contract. Otherwise, eventually, once you get enough VIP, you can actually do this without having to hire another one. You can see right now I am VIP 0. So every single day you're going to get some rewards. You want to make sure you're claiming both these every single day. So here you're going to get some VIP points every day. Every day you log in, you're going to get more, up to 200. That's when it kind of caps out. And then every day you want to make sure you're unlocking your free chest. So here you're going to get some resources. As you continue going up, more rewards are going to be in these chests. You also get some more buffs on the left side here. So if you continuously go here, more AP recovery plus more resources. Here you have extra building speed. You have extra research and training speed, more AP recovery and in a Sunset Canyon attempt. And then here, VIP 6 is where you unlock a second building queue. The way you get VIP points is either by spending gems, by spending money, or by your alliance member spending money. So when you go into your alliance, you're going to have gifts here. So you can either rally a barbarian fort, or you can unlock gifts where people are spending. So if someone in your alliance buys this chest, for example, you can see the alliance stone chest. Purchase this bundle to send all alliance members a stone chest. So you can see you can unlock VIP points from the stone chest. So as other people spend in your alliance, you have the ability to get more VIP, or if you're spending yourself, you're also getting VIP here. But like I said, you don't have to spend to get VIP points. You might get those from luck, or you can spend gems. You can see right here, 650 gems. If I wanted to unlock myself to VIP 1, I can just go ahead and do this and unlock VIP 1. Again, do not do that. This account is going to be dead by the end of this video. So personally, I don't care, but I would not recommend doing that. But you should be trying to get to VIP 6 as fast as you can to unlock that second building queue, because that will help you get yourself further in the game by upgrading your buildings and also just improving the stats that you're getting every single day. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about farm accounts. I'm going to jump to one of my farm accounts here. We'll go to this one here and just kind of talk about the benefits of farm accounts and what you can do with them, because a lot of people don't really understand the benefits of farm accounts, right? And the reason why farm accounts are needed in Rise of Kingdoms is because the insane cost of fighting in the Lost Kingdom. What I mean by that is when you are fighting and you're filling up your hospital, it can get expensive. This is basically nothing because these are all tier 4 and some tier 2 and tier 1. But when you get to fighting with T5, I'll actually show you on my main account, just really show you how expensive it can be, because it is just kind of absurd how expensive fighting with T5 really is. And obviously this is a late game kind of thing, but it helps emphasize the point of making farm accounts. So you can see here, I have some T5 in the hospital. So if I compare 444 T5 calves to 444 T4 calves, you have about 130,000 food, about 100,000 stone, and about 60,000 gold. And then compare that to 444 tier 4. You can see it's like 1/3. 1/3 food, 1/3 of the stone, and basically no gold whatsoever. It's like 3,000 compared to 64,000. It's just absurd how much more expensive T5 is. And so when you get to the later game, even with T4 it can get expensive, but as you get to the late game and you're using those speed ups and you're using those resources, having extra resources from your farm accounts can go a long way. So that way you're not focusing as much on your main account to gather resources. I just migrated to this kingdom, so I don't have that many resources on hand, but I do have a ton in my bag. You can see all these saved up. Over the course of the time, you're going to get plenty of these, as well as the experience tomes. Those are the two biggest questions I get, is experience tomes and also resources. As like, how do you have so many of those? It's just time. Hitting barbarians, hitting barbarian forts. Over the course of time, you're going to have a lot more of those things saved up. So you want to make sure you are making farm accounts to make things easier for you in the late stage. So a couple of things that I recommend with farm accounts is send out your farmers. Like, that's going to be the biggest thing. But a couple other things you want to do, if you want to allow them to get into Season of Conquest and get into the Lost Kingdom, they have to be City Hall 25, which is a pretty big investment over the course of time. So for some people, they like to keep this at like City Hall 21 or 22 because that way they can get their trading post up to 21 or 22, which you do pay a pretty big tax, 14 or 15% on the resources that you're spending. So for me, I'm spending 8% tax on everything I send. So if I send 1 billion food, I'm actually throwing away 80 million food every single time I do that, which for reference, this account itself has sent 14 billion resources, which means I've basically thrown away about 1 billion resources in total based on that 8% tax. So you can see how that really does add up, versus if I had double that, it'd be 2 billion resources thrown away just off of the tax. So, over the course of 6 farm accounts, if I'm throwing away 1 billion resources, almost every single account, over the course of 6 accounts, that's 6 billion resources that I'm throwing away just off the tax. So when you double that, like, it really puts things in perspective of like, is it worth upgrading this to level 25 so I pay half the taxes, or do I keep this at level 20, 21, or 22 and pay a lot more in taxes, and in the long run lose out on a lot of resources? So it really depends on how long you're playing the game, because for me personally, the cost of getting everything to level 25 to upgrade the trading post has been worth it, because if I hadn't done that, I'd actually be paying more in the long term in taxes than I would have spent actually getting it to level 25. So it really depends on how you're playing the game and how long you're playing the game, because if you're playing the long term game, getting this to level 25 is a no-brainer, but for some people, they don't want to upgrade the city hall to 25. So it's really a personal preference thing. But a couple other things you want to do with a farm account is either not train troops or train tier 1 troops, because if you want to get just the daily objectives, which I recommend doing, because it is worth doing the daily objectives to get the resources and to get the gems, to spend on different events to buy more resources. It is worth doing, but at the same time, you are spending resources by training. So I typically train once a day on my farm accounts. I do tier 1. I do have tier 4, saved up over the course of time to do barbarians and barbarian forts. But I try to just do tier 1 now just to save on resources, because it does add up over the course of time. You also want to make sure you're focusing on expedition, because every single day, like most of my farm accounts are around level 70-ish, which yes, this took a long time to do over the course of time, but every day I'm getting like 300,000 of each resource, basically, of food and wood. Plus I'm also getting these Medal of the Conqueror and Treasure of the Warrior Queen. So then you can go ahead and you can buy stuff in the shop here. So when there are resources, I typically buy those, and you can also trade those in for credits to buy keys, to buy VIP. Also, being in an alliance to gather resources like this is maxed out right now, so I have to collect this, but 2 million food, 2 million wood, 1.5 million stone, 1.2 million gold on 6 different accounts. You can see how that adds up too. Plus, doing barbarian forts, like that adds up a ton. I usually try to do barbarian forts a couple times a day if I can. You can see right here, level 2 resource packs. Like I get maybe 40 per barbarian fort, and I'm doing it on all 6 accounts. So if I do 5 barb forts on each account, I'm getting 40 on each. That means I'm getting 200 every single time I do a barbarian fort. So you can see how that adds up too over the course of 6 accounts. Like that's a lot of resources, right? So really just small things like that, they do go a long way. So I would recommend being active on your farm accounts if you can, but obviously at the worst case scenario, if you're just sending out gatherers once, maybe twice a day, that's way better than nothing. That's better than most people do. You don't have to spend down all your AP. You're going to have a lot of excess AP anyway. I don't expect you to do barbarians every single day. Like for me, if I have a free 5 minutes, I'll just go launch forts on all 6 farm accounts and then just, collect the resources from the chest here. And that's, basically the same sending out gatherers for a couple hours. So those things do add up. And if you can be an alliance that does that, and, you collect, you just saw there, 70 different chests, and, I was inactive, so I missed some here. But over the course of time, that definitely adds up. So the smallest things over the course of time, they do add up. And so I would highly recommend, if you are a new player, make a farm account right away. Even if it's only 1, it does go a long ways. All right, this video is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, so we're ending it here. But if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think are the best tips for new players and some things that you wish you knew at the beginning of the game, because obviously we can all learn from each other. But again, if you enjoy the content, go ahead and drop a subscribe and a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.